It's not all sunshine and roses. To me, solved problems in games aren't fun. Sure, it can be fun to do the optimal thing and get the desired result, but that gets stale and boring to me. Take for instance the main league starter and popularity of builds for 0.5. Martial Artist Whirling Assault, Spirit Walker minions, Deadeye bow builds, some variation of Twister, either Abyssal Lich, Gemling, Deadeye, Spirit Walker. And then you have the spell builds that will come shortly after, like Cast on Ailment, Cast on Crit, Spark, with minor variations in between. And there are exceptions to every rule. I'm not complaining that certain builds are popular. Metas exist for a reason. Gamers will discover what is powerful and min-max it. I'm not even complaining about builds. I think I'm complaining about the weapons themselves, I think. And for the sake of argument, I don't think that everything should be viable or perform at the same level. Because where's the fun in that? Just blindfold yourself, throw a dart at the dartboard, and play whatever at that point because it doesn't matter. Back to builds though. Like, the noob trap is to think you have to play spells for witch and sork, bows for rangers, and spear for, like, Amazon or ranger, whatever it's called. Crossbows for merc, etc. And that's how GGG presents the game to you after all. Sure, you're incentivized to play certain classes with certain weapons, but that's because you don't know about split personality jewels. Okay, great. So why complain? Well, let me get my noob rants out of the way real quick. Because, damn it, the Witch Hunter picture is so badass with the crossbow that I want to play crossbow builds. Not whatever this is. That is pretty cool, though, not gonna lie. So, it's called class fantasy, and here's my class fantasy. Crossbow. Witch Hunter. Physical damage skills. No elemental damage. Just a guy on a quest to purge the darkness from the land, armed with his wits and a gun.
Yeah, boy.
Is that too much to ask? Well, apparently it is. So, let's take a look at the crossbow skills out of the box and see what they're capable of. My primary gripe is with physical damage. Playing a crossbow, I feel forced into going for one of two builds. Grenades or lightning-focused crossbow shots. And allow me to expose how much of a noob I am in this regard.
Guy stinks!
First, let me get this out of the way. You have one, maybe 3 builds you can do on a crossbow on Witch Hunter reliably with minimal investment that can clear all content. Galvanic Shards, lightning build. Grenades, frost shards plus physical shards, or whatever it's called. Crossbow abilities scale off of physical damage and convert that physical damage to elemental damage, with few exceptions. The exceptions that do exist are armor-piercing rounds and high-velocity rounds. This synergy, and actually there is Siege Cascade or something like that. The synergy is written into the skills themselves. AP rounds destroy the armor. HV rounds consume the broken armor to do more damage.
Yes!
Wow, awesome. I should be set then to do an armor-based, deleting build then, right?
Wrong.
You would think that, wouldn't you? However, the scaling just doesn't happen. Even with a 20 div high physical damage crossbow, speccing into broken armor and physical damage, you're struggling to defeat a boss in under 10 seconds. And let's not even talk about mapping. See, here's the thing. As you're playing your build from, let's say, Act 4 into Interludes, into T1 maps, to, let's say, T13 even, your build might be cooking. And you're feeling great. Wow, I really discovered something off meta and fun, and it's my own thing, and it's working. Well, pump the brakes, pal. The wall is about to hit you and hit you hard. Meet the Arbiter of Ash. Your little physical-based crossbow build is about to get farted on. And not only that, but now try that same build out on a T15 juice map. Not so fun now, is it? Now add a shit ton of deli and abyss. Not feeling so tough, are you?
No, not by
No, it's not fun anymore, not even a little bit.
No.
But Will, look at this guy. He's doing what you said is impossible to do. Yeah, let's take a look under the covers real quick. Oh wow, it's giga expensive. Look, I'm all for that. I'm all for the possibility to pull stuff off in the game. What I'm complaining about is the base floor level being so low compared to other skills in the game. It's rage bait. The amount of effort required to bring some skills up to par compared to other skills is absurd. And while I'm at it, not all Ascendancies are created equal. Let's take the Whirling Assault build. Carbon copy it onto Witch Hunter. I did it. It's doable. It can be fun. It won't be as fun though. Know why? Even with AoE investment, Witch Hunter is not as safe as Martial Artist. Martial Artist is screen clearing off the screen. When you get to juiced maps, that is the difference between you looting the good stuff and you respawning back at your hideout. Okay, so let's take a step back and think critically for a second. Maybe I'm thinking about this all wrong. Should all paths be viable? Maybe not. However, I feel like what you see on the tree from the Merc starting point with physical crossbow skills makes it seem that this should be a viable method of progression. Now, let's contrast all that with what the Blood Mage has. It has this node. Elemental damage contributes to bleed magnitude. Enemies you curse have bleeding aggravated. Slap galvanic shards and plasma blast, and you are pumping some serious bleed damage. Exactly what I'm looking for in regards to bleed. I want to see stuff have a big bleed for hitting them really hard. With all this being said, I believe I am still looking at this wrong. I do believe some skills need to be buffed, for sure. Undeniable that crossbows and maces lag behind spells and bows. And to some extent, spears. Actually, a large extent. I believe I am putting the cart before the horse. While it is normally the correct way to view things as a class having certain skills, and you pick your class to play certain skills, think like World of Warcraft, playing a warrior, you are now playing spin to win, you know. POE2 is backwards in that regard. You need to pick the skill you want to play before you pick your class. Your class is only there to customize the way you play your skill. It is wrong to think that just because you are playing a warrior, you are supposed to be playing physical melee skills. It is wrong to think that just because you are playing a sorcerer, you must be playing spells. Yes, with that being said, some Ascendancies are predisposed to certain types of skills. Blood Mage has several spell-critical nodes. You wouldn't pick those nodes if you were playing a bow. Martial Artist leans heavily towards playing a quarterstaff, although there are plenty of examples where Martial Artist is doing just fine with different weapon setups. Balance in this game, though, feels way off. Now, some will say they haven't tried to balance the game. I would say that that is half true.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
We have gotten decent nerfs to several skills and Ascendancies from 0.1 till now, even though it does kind of feel half-assed. I will point to any cast on ailment build or cast on crit build just being in a different world compared to crossbows right now.
That's right, Jay.
All this being said, as a noob who admittedly still has a lot to learn about the game, I do wish for buffs to crossbows and other weapons that lag behind spells and bows. Now, is true balance possible? I don't think so.
Move this man!
And I also don't think that any game where every skill can do everything is interesting or fun. It is fun to have skills that can do crazy things. It's interesting to have different skills with different power levels, or that can come online earlier or later than other skills, or that just need an item or two and now they pump, etc. Also, something to note, Witch Hunter is one of the best, if not the best, at Sekima farming because of sorcery ward. You can just stack evasion gear and get free ward that acts as a massive health pool, and getting hit doesn't count against you because it's hitting a ward before hitting you. So maybe there's even another layer here. Some classes and skills might be better suited. I honestly believe that the types of content you face in Endgame, like 200% deli, tons of mods, predisposes what is good versus what isn't. Plenty of builds make it to Endgame. Most builds do not succeed outside of massive AoE builds that fire projectiles or AoE around them. And why is that? Because in these forms of content, mobs are coming at you from every angle. The crossbow is ill-suited for this task, and mace skills are slow for the most part. Yes, there is the Giga Shield Wall build. I've seen a few of them. But what I'm saying is, you need to be doing ass loads of heavy-hitting AoE damage that wipes the screen in order to beat this type of content. Otherwise, you really are sweating to clear, and therefore sacrificing your XP bar. But Will, Nova projectiles exist. Yes, and it is a detriment to the crossbow skills that fire forwards, because many of the projectiles do not hit hard and are usually banking on the fact that projectiles will merge or chain. Bows suffer much less from Nova projectiles and also don't have to weapon swap to be able to fire off a tornado shot. So I guess my thesis should change to, we either need to nerf AoE skills, either don't allow them to fire in a circle around the caster, which would force spell and bow twister users to actually care about the direction their character is facing, or massively nerf the AoE radius at which those skills can be used. Martial artist whirling assault, for example, or massively nerf the content that requires massive AoE, as well as massively nerf the AoE capabilities such that you should care about the directional input to your character and not just making sure you're not standing in something, similar to playing a crossbow. Proposing nerfs is never popular.
Why you boring me? I'm right.
I just would love to see the viability of some of these skills be brought forward, and GGG just doesn't seem to be interested in doing it. Take, for instance, the microtransactions they've released for skills. Crossbow had one pack, and it gave you red lightning skills. Pretty cool. I was excited to see what else would come. Oh, look. Another recolor for lightning skills. Yay. And why is that? Because GGG does not think that the other crossbow skills are worth a shit. Take any live service class-based game, World of Warcraft, League of Legends. Admittedly, for me, the past 2 live service games that I have any decent amount of time in, the nerfs and buffs that happen in those games directly impact what is played and what isn't, obviously. But even in those multi-million-dollar games, true balance is not possible. Certain classes in WoW are just going to get invites to keys over others, and certain classes may excel in certain types of content over others. Certain characters in League are just going to be banned over others, played in certain roles over others, and then what is built on those characters will be built over other items in the game. What I like about POE2 is, even after my belly aching, the game is still fun in playing something suboptimal. Again, comparison is the thief of joy, and I would also argue that comparison viewed correctly encourages me to learn more about the game. There are ways to be effective at the game. What's important is to play what you find fun, with humility, knowing that, hey, I might never be a Giga Blaster, Mega Screen melting, boss shredding build creator.
I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
And let's be real, what am I hoping for? that what I like and what I want to play is the bestest ever, and that I'm able to beat the game with one button and also have a million billion defenses and nothing can stop me because I've got such a giga forehead intellect, and now I'm going to get recognized by the community as some build creator savant, and now I'm going to be able to quit my job and make videos for the rest of my life? Well, yes, but actually no. No, for real, hell no. Even knowing that I'm not going to be as effective playing a crossbow on my blood mage versus if I was to play spells, it's what's going to keep me coming back to the game. I like crossbows.
There's a time and a place for mucking around.
I think my last note should be, what GGG envisions does not necessarily equal what the player envisions. The player is exposed to what is possible to do. Again, see any giga-juicing, eye-wateringly expensive build. GGG envisions you, the player, completing the challenges. That's it. That's what they consider a successful season. Those are the goals that they set before you. You know, get all the Atlas points, defeat these pinnacle bosses, etc. Not extremely hard to do and can be done with plenty of builds that are not GPU-destroying builds. The player, however, is exposed to what they see on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, and the ceiling is incredibly high up there, which, honestly, is cool. But we need to recognize that GGG is not expecting you to be the Giga Blaster.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
It's there if you have the time and the smarts to do it. They really just want you to do the challenges and be done with the season and, I don't know, start new characters, craft, play, or fuck off and play something different. And this isn't just me saying this. Like, Jonathan Rogers has expressed that they want you to get to a point where you can say, I beat the game. You're the one at fault if you have done all the challenges and are feeling unsatisfied. And I say this tongue in cheek because obviously I want my precious crossbow gun to be better. Thanks for listening to this. And if you find it entertaining or think I'm completely missing something or am dead wrong, leave a comment. Would love to be shown some wisdom, as it were. Y'all have a good one. Like and subscribe.
Excellent!